Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Big Bold You, a show that is designed to help each and every one of you out there. And yes, we are talking about you. We're talking about your girlfriends. We're talking about your husbands, your wives. We're talking about everybody out there. We want to help you play bigger in your life. And in order to play bigger, you have to think bigger. To change your life, you have to change the way you think, and everything else will follow. We want you to be bolder, which means you are going to have to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to do things that you don't think you can do, but I promise you that you can do. Things that feel a little bit really kind of uncomfortable. You got to do that so you can become the best version of you. I believe that we live in a world where there is a war between good and evil, and the only way evil wins is when good people don't do enough. So every Monday at 3 p.m. Central, we have a new show, we have a new guest, we have a topic to really make your life better. And if there's a topic that you would like us to speak on, or if you are a potential guest and you would like to come on and share your story, please contact me at Jens, G as in George, E-N-S, at jensjohnson.com, and we would love to talk to you. Now, I am so excited about our guest today, Shera Singh. She is an incredible person inside and out. She's a stylist. She's got a heart of gold. And I don't even know exactly where you're from, Shera, but you got a heart bigger than Texas. So I hope it's from Texas.
It is.
Okay. But welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. And you've got you just have such a, I want to say, a caring demeanor to you, just such a loving energy. And I can't wait for people to learn more about you. And we are going to do that. But before we get into your career and some amazing tips that she's going to share, just tell us a little bit about who you are and where you grew up and just something that we all should know about you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, I am a small town West Texas girl.
West Texas,
West
I knew
Texas,
it.
yes, you can tell from the accent.
San Angelo?
Abilene.
Close
to Abilene.
Okay.
I say Abilene. Cross Plains is actually where I'm at.
Okay.
So, 1,000 people in the whole town. Graduated with like 26 in my class. So, very small town girl.
Now, how long were you in that town before you busted out?
Well, I was actually there for 4 years, but I grew up in a lot of small towns around West Texas.
Okay.
I call that my hometown, but finally came to the Dallas area for college, studied fashion design, and have been here ever since.
Oh, that's amazing. Is your family still there?
Part of them are, yes.
Okay, all righty. And what brought you or took you and your family to those small towns?
My dad just was always in business for himself, and so he he was in construction and built a lot of different things, started a lot of different small businesses, and so that's just the area we were in. And my parents are originally from the West Texas area.
Okay, so that's home.
Yeah.
I mean, I love West Texas. I'm telling you, I love all of Texas, but I will say I am a city girl. So although it is fun to go to those small towns, I would much prefer to live in the city. How about you?
Right. I think I've changed over the years. It used to be when I first came to the Dallas area, I was a little more homesick. But honestly, over this past year, I've become much more of a city girl.
Right,
I love it, but I do love the best. There's great things in both worlds.
Well, I can't wait to jump into more of who you are and your heart and your passion and really how what you know and your expertise can help a lot of us save time and money. And I'm all about that.
Right.
But before we do that, one of the things that we do on our show is we have a book of the month. And, I'm telling you right now, I facilitate a mastermind. And every month we have a book that we read. And I just started thinking, golly, these books are life-changing. And if you're not reading, you're not growing, and you've got to continue to grow. We are all limitless, and that's information on my mastermind. You can always go to jensjohnson.com or jensjohnson.com/mastermind. But I'm going to give a little tip and a little just something that I think is going to make an impact and a difference on every one of our lives. And I really want to go even deeper with this with you, Shera. So, life is about choices. Decision is a choice. To be healthy is a choice. To be happy is a choice. It's all a choice. But we're making all these decisions and choices every day, all day long. And sometimes we are not putting much thought into decisions. And we all know, I believe in my heart that when you've got a big decision to make, you do put more thought and energy into it. But here are 4 questions that Gary Zukav, who is the owner of this, the author of this book, and I'm telling you, my book is falling apart. Look at this, Gary. I know this isn't what you wanted, but here are 4 questions to ask yourself when you are making a choice. Number 1, what will this choice produce? Number 2, do I really want to create that? Number 3, am I ready to accept all of the consequences of this choice? Then what he says is you're going to kind of marinate for a little bit. You're going to think about, ponder, pray, contemplate, whatever it is that you want to do in that process, and simply test the water and see how you feel. When you're thinking about all the consequences that are potential from your choice, and if you think, golly, this is exciting, I want to do this, maybe you're a little bit scared, or do you just feel heavy? Just be aware and conscious of how you physically feel when you're putting yourself in that position. And then question number 4, is this really what I want? And then you make a decision and you decide. And I was thinking about that, and I thought, as our careers, that's a big decision. So how did you go about making the decision to get into fashion, into style, and what were some of the questions that you asked yourself, and what were some of the confirmations that you knew, hey, I'm doing the right thing for me?
Right. That is such a great question. Well, from a very early age, I knew I loved fashion and styling. I started sewing when I was about 5 years old. So
okay. So did you just start sewing because you just said, hey, I see my mom sew, I want to sew, or how did that come about? Because I think that's incredible at age 5.
Well, thank you. Well, I have to credit my older sister. She one day just was like, hey, I want to teach you something, and she taught me how to sew a button on. And I don't know why, but after that, I was just completely hooked.
just with a needle
just
and thread.
With a needle. Yeah, I just loved
this.
It. I
At
loved
5
it.
years old.
Yeah, and then after that, I was sewing.
You were hooked.
Yeah, Barbie clothes, doll clothes, and just. Yeah, I loved it and started sewing things for myself. So it was really a passion that early on I knew I loved. There was a time going into college where that was kind of tested.
Right.
I really started to develop a heart for mission work and just really helping other people. And I came to kind of a crossroads where I thought, fashion really on the surface is seen as a superficial industry.
Right.
And so I was struggling inside with thinking, okay, how can I follow this passion I have for fashion, but really do something that I'm really committing my life to doing something that matters.
Right, because you have such a servant heart. I mean, and it's all about service. I mean, you can, that radiates out of her, I'm telling you. And I bet you did kind of have a struggle because you're thinking, oh gosh, I love to sew, I love fashion, but how can that be so deep to help people?
Right. Yeah. And then in college, I was invited to basically start a sewing program in Kenya, where I was going to be able to teach women how to sew. And that for me, I was literally seriously considering changing my major to something else, and then I was given that opportunity, and that was just an affirmation.
First of all, how did that even come about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I was involved with a human trafficking organization. They're called Makeway Partners, and they work in countries around the world, mainly like the Sudan, Kenya, African area. And I knew someone in that organization, and they knew my passion
Wow.
for sewing. And so they thought, well, this would be a great tangible skill to teach the women there. And so they approached me and said, if you would like to kind of develop a program for them and then go and
Oh
teach
my
that.
gosh, Shera,
So, yeah.
how awesome.
Thank
How old
you.
were you when you did this?
Oh my goodness. I was 20.
So you're 20 years old, you're in college, you're involved with the human trafficking group, which our show actually last week was our topic, was human
really?
trafficking. It is, listen, we all can do something to help make that problem and issue better. But so many people, it blows my mind, they're not even aware of how huge the human trafficking issue is. So here you are, you're 20, you're in school, and you get this opportunity to go to Kenya. You jump on it, and here you are in Kenya, and you're teaching women how to sew. Wow.
It was amazing. It
How
really
long were you
was.
there?
2 months.
So you're there 2 months, and how did you teach the women?
So I did a lot of planning beforehand. I even had to, when I was there, they don't have electricity, so I had to learn how to use one of the like super old school where
my
you
gosh.
pedal.
Yeah.
You pedal the sewing machine to
Oh
get it
my
to go.
gosh,
Yeah.
Shera.
So it
This
was
is cool.
Yeah, thank you. It was, I would have to say, the most rewarding experience in my life, but one of the hardest too,
Oh, sure.
for sure.
And you know what? Isn't that how life is? Your most challenging and difficult things that you do are the most rewarding in the end, because anything that you put so much time, energy, effort, sacrifice into, you get so much out of it. And so you were there for 2 months. You were teaching these women how to sew. How were those women connected to the human trafficking organizations? Or
Right. So they worked with like the orphans in the area that the human trafficking organization cared for.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting. Our plan got changed at the very last minute. I was actually supposed to go to Sudan, but at the time there was a raid that was close to where I was supposed to go, so we went to Kenya instead. And so there were some women there that I was able to teach, and there was one woman who this just blessed my heart. I remember being I remember being sad to not being able to go to Sudan, because that was kind of where I'd planned to go. And this one woman who I was teaching how to sew, she had said, I was wanting a way to help these orphans here. Like I taught her how to make school uniforms for them. And she said, I was praying for a way to help these children, and then God sent me you. And that was like, oh my goodness.
And you were like, I was supposed to come here, not Sudan.
Exactly. And that was just kind of a little conviction for me. I was like, while I was kind of feeling like my plans got disrupted, that in turn, like, I was actually being used to help someone else, which was like, still, I'm so humbled by that.
And that's how all of life is. I say it all the time. We're really here to make the world a better place.
Right.
And the gifts and the talents that we've been given, they haven't been just given to us just so we can make a living. They've been given to us so we can make the world a better place, whether it is entertainment or fashion or counseling or philanthropy or traditional business or networking or the arts, whatever it is. Our gifts and talents are for a reason, for a purpose, and we're supposed to share them. And then is that when you realized, you know what, my passion for fashion isn't just superficial. It's so much deeper than that. You're able through your skills to give clothing to people. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, that's something I've always said about my career and my passion for fashion. It always has to be tied with a purpose for me. Like, for me to really feel like I'm doing something worth it, then I really have to be doing something that helps someone else. And so now, as my job as a stylist, I get to help so many women, which is so amazing.
And let's face it, I mean, most people, they want to look great. I mean, they do, right? Don't y'all want to look great? You want to look great if you're male or female.
Right.
But a lot of times you don't really know how to put things together. And that's really kind of what I want to know from you is, so when somebody says, okay, listen, I need some help. What are some of the tips that you offer to these people? And really, if somebody's interested in having a stylist, what's that process that happens?
Yeah. So the company I work for is called Front Door Fashion, and what we really pride ourselves on is that we give you full outfits, and
Okay.
also it's very personalized. Actually, this is kind of a page where you can find me on our website. I give a little bit of tips for styling and just my inspirations, but what I do is I'll take a style profile that someone's filled out, and based on what their colors are that they love, their body type, height, weight, everything like that, price points, I'll put together curated looks for them.
Right.
And sometimes also it's just people who are like, hey, I just need key pieces in my closet. Like I've
Right.
already got some items, I just need little fillers. So I do both of those things.
Well, here's one of the things I know, and I've talked about this on the show before, and I've talked to you about it. I have a friend of mine who's a stylist, and she shops for me. She does so much, and I honestly, I don't even like to go shopping anymore. And I used to love to shop, but here's what would happen. I would go in and I would waste so much time and money because I would just, first you'd have to try it on, then first you have to find the stuff, then you have to try it on, then you have to put things together, and maybe they would match, maybe they wouldn't match. Then you'd leave, and I mean, it was just, I would waste time and
Yes.
money. Now she shops for me. She knows what looks good on me. She knows my sizes, and she'll go shop. She brings it to me, and I save time and money like never before.
Right.
So I think that a lot of people think this is a luxury, but I don't think it's really a luxury. I think it's a time saver and a money
really
saver.
Is. It really is. I had the same experience. There was one day that our office was closed. Sometimes I'm able to get things from my office, but this one particular day it was closed, and I went out shopping, and I was like, crap, like I really want a stylist for myself. I spent so much time looking
Right.
for things.
I think it's just like anything else when you're doing it for yourself. I mean, I would think it just, you spend more time. When you're doing it for a client, you're so much more objective. You know exactly what this person wants or needs,
Right.
and you have more of a purpose and
Right.
more focus that you go in and you get
Yeah.
it done.
And another great thing is that as I build relationships with customers, sometimes I'm also able to give them something else to explore. As I get to know what they like and what they don't like, I kind of know where to provide something maybe they wouldn't have picked out for themselves. And I've
Right.
had so many customers say, oh, thank you. Like I tried it on. It's something I would have walked right past in the store, but I tried it on and I loved it. But just getting out of that, and like you said, having an objective view,
Right.
It really just helps you to kind of explore different styles. And I love that part.
Okay, so we all know how important it is to look nice. I mean, it is. One of the things I say all the time is, there was actually every Monday I send a Monday mindset email to my database, and if you're interested, just let me know and I'll be happy to get your email on there. And it's just kind of a quote, or it's a thought, something for you to think about. And I always go through and I tie it into the topic for our show. And one of the quotes that I found is, when you walk in, the way that you present yourself, what you're wearing, you're speaking without having to speak. So understanding that, what is that message that you want people to know about you? You have a conversation with a stylist, you'll be able to help bring that out just in their clothing.
Right.
I mean, you're speaking, and we all know nonverbal communication is it like 60 or 70% is nonverbal, and that's just not only your body language and your facial expressions, but it's the whole package. So it's important.
For sure.
It's
for
important.
Sure. Yeah.
So tell me, when you have somebody's out there saying, hey, I'm interested, I might want to meet Shera, what does that process look like? I mean, what do you do with your clients?
So those who don't live in the Dallas area, I send a box of outfits to their door. And the way you get started is you just go on to our website, frontdoorfashion.com. You can choose me as your stylist. You can just reach out to me by email or request a box. You'll fill out a style profile, and then after that, you'll get a box delivered to your door. You don't pay shipping either way. You get 5 days to try on everything, and then whatever you don't like, you just send back.
Okay, but what if somebody is in the Dallas area? Do they still get a box with 5 outfits?
So they get a box, or we also have a style lounge you can come into, and I do have some graphics for that, where you can see a little bit of our style
So
lounge.
just kind of, is that, so here in Dallas, these pictures that we're about to see, that's located here.
Right.
So if somebody is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and they want hands-on, they want to meet you live.
Right.
So you go in there and you've got all these great outfits.
Yes. And so what we do is, and what we say is that usually about 4 hours that you would spend in a mall, we can help you in 1 hour to put looks together. So I will personally work with you. I will put together outfits. We'll talk beforehand. And so I'll already have outfits ready to go for you to try on. And then based on that, and then I can tweak it if necessary. I can go get different sizes for you. So you just sit back, you relax, you enjoy a glass of wine, and I'm the one that does all the running around for you and puts together
I like
the
that,
look.
Shera. I like the way that sounds. But so when somebody comes in, how many times do you recommend a person coming in and doing that? And what's the cost associated with that?
Right. So there's no cost to come in.
Okay.
Same thing with a box. There's no cost to get a box.
Okay, now that's kind of nice right there.
Right.
So no cost at all.
Right. And we do, the way that's set up, you do pay a deposit up front, but then that's completely refunded to you if you don't keep anything.
Okay.
So you don't pay any extra styling fees. So you get to try on all the clothing, but if you don't keep anything,
Then you
you're
don't
not
pay
out
anything.
any money. Right.
Okay, now this is sounding better and better, Shera. I didn't even know this. I didn't know this part of
Right.
it. So when you start talking to somebody, I am just assuming that you have such a wide variety of clothing options.
Yes.
And all the clothing options are in style. You've got all different sizes. And then you said something at the very beginning. You have different price points, correct?
Right.
Okay, so I want everybody to know that you aren't going to be breaking the bank. I mean, if somebody, to be realistic, because I like to be transparent with people. To be realistic, I mean, if somebody comes in, what are just an average of what most people spend, and how many outfits does that consist?
So that can be all over the board.
Okay,
so
all right.
We do carry a few higher-end brands, but then also some lower price points as well. Usually our prices will start anywhere between like 80 to 100, 150, and then kind of go up from there.
Which
And
is
so-
very reasonable.
Right.
That's what you're going to be paying anywhere you go, basically.
Right. And so we carry over 300 different brands.
So are the brands that we would know?
Yes, so
Okay.
like Trina Turk,
Oh,
Nicole
love
Miller.
Trina. Okay.
We carry one thing also great. We have a lot of local designers as well, and some things that
That's
you wouldn't
neat.
find in other stores.
Okay,
so
so
you'll
that's-
find both.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. So let's just say Trina Turk, because that's a common designer.
Right.
Are these designs that she only does for your company, or would these be designs that you could go find at other stores?
You could find them at other stores,
Okay,
but
okay.
there are certain pieces that we do carry exclusively.
Okay.
So it's sometimes you won't find them at other stores, but you may. It just kind of depends. But we work directly with the vendors, and so that's also a great just relationships that we have. Our buyers are excellent
I
at just
love
getting us so
this.
many different brands.
Right, I love this. Okay, so somebody can come in and there's no, I don't know. I'm asking a question. Is there a limit? So if somebody comes in, and is the time frame about an hour, or can it be longer?
It can be longer. Usually we stick to about an hour and a half. But
Okay.
if you want to come in and you just want a whole wardrobe
I
overhaul,
feel like you should have parties there.
Yes.
Can you do parties there?
we can't. We have done group styling sessions, which
Right.
are really fun. Bring in your friends.
I
and
just think
we'll
that
do a
would be
styling
fun
party.
to do with a
Yeah.
group,
Yeah.
because, and then you have the wine and everybody's having a good time.
Right.
And so, we'll bring Jason in there. We'll dress Jason up in some women's clothing. But you can do groups, so you
We
can
can do
accommodate
groups,
that.
yes.
Okay, I think that would be a lot of fun to do. So there's no limit though. I mean, there's no bottom minimum. You can buy one outfit, you can buy one
Right.
piece of clothing, or you can buy as many as you
Right.
want.
And then another thing that is really great, we're not a subscription service.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can really have a box or come in as many times as you want. And also customers are able to directly communicate with me. Like their numbers, their calls, their texts goes straight to my personal cell phone number.
Right.
So
I like that too.
I really do build relationships with my customers.
Well, what I'm thinking is really cool about this is you have nothing to lose. I mean, zero to lose. So if this is something that you just think, you know what, I want to just do something nice for myself, and I want to try this. You put the deposit down, you make an appointment with Shera, you spend an hour and a half. If you want to do it with some friends, do a group, and you are going to basically, from the profile that a person fills out, you'll have things already set.
Right.
And you pick what you want, what you don't want, you don't need.
Right.
Then you, as the customer or the client, when you're ready to do that again, you just contact you. And that's it.
Right.
Okay, this sounds really,
Right.
really easy. I don't know about, I mean, what's the downsides about
Right.
side on this, Shera? I don't see one.
I don't know. Like, really, I absolutely love my job as a stylist.
How long
I
have
love
you been
it.
doing this?
So I've been with this company for almost a year and a half,
Uh-huh.
and I did style beforehand in a previous company. But yeah, this company, seriously, I'm so grateful for my job.
And
Just the
how many
management team, everyone.
Okay, so how many stylists do they have?
So we have about 22, I
Okay.
believe, 22 stylists.
And is this just here in the Dallas area?
Yes, we're just here in the Dallas
so
area.
the company is here local, headquartered here, but obviously you can be anywhere, and you would pick out the outfits and you'd send it to them. And I'm sure now with Skype and Zoom and all that stuff, you can go back and forth with people once they have it
Right.
tried on.
Right.
Because I would assume, and again, we all know what happens when you assume, but I would assume that if somebody is out of the Dallas area and they're trying the clothing on, you still want your advice on, okay, look, we need to put this, tuck this in, we need to,
Right. And the way it also works is that whenever I send you outfits in a box, I also will send you styling notes as well. So it will be my tips of
okay.
you put this with this is a way you can style this, front tuck the top into the pant.
Right.
I give you all the different little tips, but I always tell my customers, call me, text me, let me
Right.
know how I can be there to help you.
FaceTime me.
Right.
And you have jewelry as well?
Yes, and we carry accessories as well.
I
so you
love
get the
that.
full look. Unfortunately, we don't have shoes at the moment, but we are growing so fast.
So
that
do
you never
we
know what
do
we're
we
gonna
have some pictures of complete outfits, or do we have pictures of people that you've styled before? I can't remember if we got those.
I don't think we have those.
Oh,
I know. But if you do see on our website, the homepage of our website, you can see different outfit examples
Okay.
and things like that.
All right, now, so if we go to that website, Front Door Fashion.
Yes.
Okay, so frontdoorfashion.com. So somebody, they go and they look, they can pick outfits potentially that they want sent to them, or will you pick those outfits out?
I will pick the outfits out,
Okay.
but also we have an Instagram page and a Facebook page, so we'll post new arrivals we have sometimes. And then
Okay.
also we have a company Instagram page, but I've also created a personal one of my own.
Okay, what is that? Because Jason's really good about
Yes.
pulling that up.
Instagram,
Jason's like, oh man, more work. He can do it. He's tough.
it's styled by Shera.
Style by Shera. Listen, I'm going to look at it. I'm going
We'll
to
need
look at
to
it at the
find
same
it,
time.
yes.
Okay.
It might be under shera.d.sing as
Okay,
well.
I'm gonna
I have a
look at
Facebook
it.
and an Instagram.
Okay, so I'm going to look it up as well.
Okay.
So
It might be shera.d.sing.
Okay, so
Styled by Shera is my Facebook.
Style by Shera. Let me look and see if it's coming up. I think it is. Hold on.
Do
Any of this?
here.
Hold on. She's gonna
try
because because that should have people that you've styled before, correct?
Sometimes people do tag
Or they just
me.
they take
Now,
pictures.
this is something I have made personally for my customers. So this is just a way for me to better serve them.
Yes.
But there we go. So sometimes I also post, like for example, sometimes I also post just some of our outfit example, like different things we have, or
Okay.
sometimes I model them to just to show
Did you
kind of what
find
they
it,
look
Jason?
like.
It's Shera.d.sing. Okay. All right. So what I want to know is I want to know some Fashion
Got it.
tips. Okay. So what are some fashion tips? Are just some looks that are really in that are total do's right now.
Total do's.
Total do's.
Yes. So I would
Instead of
definitely say
Tweedledee, total do's.
definitely cottons and linens are in right now.
Okay.
I'm seeing a lot of the kind of big wood button detailing on dresses. Colorful stripes. Trina Turk's got a lot of colorful stripes in her collection. So it's kind of all across the board. But yes, a lot of colorful stripes. And lilac is a very trending color this summer. Kelly green, your corals.
I love
So
it.
yeah.
So as we all know, not everybody feels comfortable in their skin. They just don't. And that's one of the things I think is so important about style and about clothing. And I think there is a difference between style and fashion because fashions do come and go, as we know. But most people, I think, you strive for a certain style. So explain what's the difference between fashion and style, and how do you as a person figure out what your style is or which style is best or right for you?
Right. So I would say really knowing your body type and body shape, and I think also being a former and I guess current seamstress, fit is so key for me. I
Yes.
love whenever something fits right is when you really feel confident in it. And so I would say definitely find the silhouettes that flatter your body figure, because that's, if you're always confident with how a piece fits, you can kind of change up the trends and the
Right.
fashion here and there. But as long as it fits well, that's always great.
I think that's really important because I can't tell you how many times I have put something on and you think, oh, I don't know if this looks good or not. But then somebody that does know what they're doing says, well, it's not, you don't have it the right size. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. And then the exact same thing that you tried on by yourself now looks totally different on you.
Right.
So being a seamstress, do you recommend, sometimes you're not going to find something that fits you perfectly.
Right.
So do you recommend people going and getting it sized specifically for them?
Sometimes I do, yes. There's certain times, like you said, unfortunately, sometimes you love something, you try it on, it just doesn't always exactly
Doesn't
fit right.
look right on you.
So if you can take it to a tailor to get it altered exactly to you, I think that's something I would highly recommend. But then also, I've just learned different fabrics are great for different types of body shapes. Even I'm a person who has broad shoulders, so for my frame, and so raglan sleeves, that's something that's a great design detail on a top that will give you that ease and give you that
Right.
room. So just knowing little key points like that. But then that's also why I'm here, is to help with that.
And then you educate people along the way.
Right.
Because if somebody starts to understand, listen, these are the looks, these are the shapes, the designs, the styling, the fabrics, the colors that look best on you, it really takes a lot of the guessing out of it.
Right.
So you look great. Okay, how quickly can somebody come in and see and have a meeting with you?
Oh my goodness. Really, they can the very next day. Sometimes later, if they make the appointment that morning, I can be ready for them that afternoon.
That's
So
awesome.
just giving me enough time to kind of pull some looks together for you.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay, so one of the things that I'm just going to do is I think that I need to come over there and we need to do a live at the lounge.
Yes.
I think that would be so
That
much
would
fun.
be so much fun.
And then everybody can say, Jens, that looks great on you, or no, Jens, that does not look good on you. And Shera can say, I know, I told her, it didn't look good on her. Because I think I'm just a firm believer that when you show someone how easy it is, and it's not a luxury. So many people think this is a luxury, and it's not a luxury. It's if you're a professional, or even if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're a stay-at-home dad, but you just want to look great, or you've got an event that's coming up, you've got a high school reunion, you've got whatever it is, and you want to make sure you look great. What an awesome opportunity to do this, and I just like the whole experience.
Right.
Okay, now here's another question, and if you have anybody else questions, put it on the either Facebook or YouTube, and I'll answer those questions, or I'll have Shera answer. But how long does it take to get the clothing, or am I going to walk out with the outfit?
So if you come in for a style session, you take the clothing that exact same day. So you
That's
walk out with the
even-
outfit.
Okay,
Yes.
so that I really am going to tell you I love that because I I've got friends that do a bunch of different aspects of styling, and I love them all because I just think it's important to look great. But I love that you just said you get to take it home with you. So you get to carry it home.
Yeah, that's great. And then another thing that I didn't even think about until I started working with customers is also I'm basically their shopping eye. And so sometimes I will see new arrivals in our inventory, and even if it's not something, even if they're not ready for a box, ready to come in, I'll text them a pic and say, hey, we just got this in. I thought of you. Would you like it?
Okay, I love
Yeah.
this. I really do love this. I think I'm going to make an appointment with Shera for today or tomorrow and just do it because, it's just, I know that it's going to be amazing. And you've got all the up to date and great pieces. So what do you think are some key pieces that every person needs to have in their wardrobe, in their closet?
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. I would say definitely cover some of your prints, like having like an edgy print or or leopard, animal print. That's something we've seen really trending. A chambray top is something that you can style so many different ways. A great pair of denim shorts, skirts are so in right now. We've got so many cute skirts. So that's just a great piece to put on, kind of a runaround piece, that a great alternative to a short you wouldn't think of.
Okay, see, and one of the things that I'm looking to see if anybody's got any questions and stuff, but one of the things that I'm really guilty of this, Shera, and I want to know your thoughts, is I will wear dresses just because it's one piece and I don't have to think. And, of course, it's easy to put a sweater or a jacket or something like that, but a lot of times I'll look at people that have on a skirt or slacks, and I feel like they look more put together sometimes than just a dress. But I don't know. Are y'all that way? If you're a female out there, or you just like to wear dresses, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love wearing dresses.
That's amazing. Actually, we have one of our recent blogs that went out was called Dressed in 60 Seconds because we have so many summer dresses in. And you're right. It's just a great way to easily look styled quickly and be out the door.
It's just one item.
Right. And a way that you can dress that up is putting some type of accessory with it, or you can put a jacket or something like that. But even just putting a little necklace with it or a scarf, like a silk scarf tied, that always elevates your look.
I know. And I think the scarves look so great, and it's something that I just don't do. But I just think they look amazing. It's awesome. So I'm loving all of this. And if you are interested in learning more, Shera, what's the best way for people to reach out and catch you?
So they can go to frontdoorfashion.com and then /Shera, and they can email me there.
Okay.
And then also, if you just find my phone number there as well. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. All right, now one of the things that I do, Shera, and I've told you about this, is every week we have an Ask Jen's question. So let's pull this Ask Jen's question up because it's going to really be perfect for you. But here's the question. How do I quickly look put together without spending a lot of time getting dressed for the day? Okay, here's my answer. Wear black, okay? And I think because we've got you've got to really tell everybody. I mean, first read the question because you're going to answer this so much better than I can.
So, how do I quickly look put together without spending a lot of time getting dressed for the day? And I would say definitely knowing your body type and finding fits that just flatter your figure. Also, we use the rule of 3 in fashion, which means whenever you put a top and a pant on, just throwing on some type of accessory that matches those pieces. It's used as a linking piece for a cohesive look. That's a great way to just quickly look put together.
Okay, I love this. Okay, perfect. Now, another thing that I do, and I don't do this every week, but I'm telling you, one of my most favorite things to do, Shera, is laugh. I mean, I love to laugh. I truly believe that laughter is the best medicine. And I say all the time to people is nothing lasts forever. Your bad times aren't going to last forever. I don't care if you just broke up with a boyfriend. I don't care if you're in a funk. I don't care if you're having money problems. I don't care if you're having weight problems, health problems, or whatever it is. Nothing's going to last forever. I also say, too, you could be having the best time of your life. That's not going to last forever either, okay? So laughter is so important. And one of the things that I do is I find funny videos, I find silly videos, and laughter is the best medicine. Now, this video that we're going to watch right here is a really great friend of mine, Jenny Cosby. It's her granddaughter, Sunny Ray. She is a riot. I watch these videos all the time that Jenny puts up on social media, and here's just one of them that made me smile so big.
Sunny, what happened? You don't know?
I'm gonna makeup. I'm gonna makeup.
You're done with your makeup?
What?
No. No. Sunny.
Okay, so I think it's so hysterical because I kind of think that goes along with the fashion that we're talking about. At that young of an age, she wants to look good, and
Right.
she's imitating what she sees her mom and her grandmother and all these people do, because fashion and looking good doesn't care what age you are, it is a part of our society. So, any last parting words that you'd like to share with anybody out there?
Just that I'm so grateful for the opportunity to use my passion for fashion to really help women. And so if that's you, if that's someone out there that I can help, I would love just for you to contact me. And then thank you, Jen, so much for being
Oh,
on this
gosh,
show. I had so much fun.
Listen, I am going to set up an appointment with Shera, and I will do a Facebook Live, and you'll see us. And I'm going to do that quickly because I love when I find something great like this to jump on it. I mean, that's one of the things I say all the time. Successful people make decisions quickly, and I'm making a decision right now. I hope you do too as well. And I hope you will share this with anybody that you think would need it. If there's something we can do to make your life better, please let us know, and join us again next Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Please do subscribe to the Jens Johnson YouTube channel, G with a Jens George. And we'll see you next time. Until we meet again, be big, be bold, and most importantly, be you. Bye-bye.